What's going on, guys? It's Brewken. I'm your raid leader. For a lot of you, this may be the first time that you see me, unless you see my Facebook post, then that's a little different. Anyway, just wanted to touch upon this past weekend. Um, our raid actually hit the very first wall. As you know, we didn't. This is the first week that we've never killed a new boss or made significant progress on a boss. Well, we started did. We hit phase two one time, and a lot of times a guild is tested not by how far they progress, but how they handle these walls that they hit. I believe that every single one of you are exceptional raiders, and that you guys are excellent people. Like, it's really cool that you guys have all this trust in me as a raid leader. Whenever I make a call, you guys just execute it. Like, for example, when I called Rex Shaman to Ankh and he ankhed anyway, even though he was in a pool. Um, to have that trust, even though it's the wrong call, is very valuable as a group. Especially all the trust that you guys put into me, as I've alluded earlier. Um, I want to talk about mythic rating mindset. So for mythic rating, a lot of it is the hardest content that we could possibly ever do. As you know, we're going to be implementing a bench to some players. I will be as fair as possible on benching. If you guys ever have an issue with a bench or feel that I'm not being fair, feel free to reach out to me, Brewken, or any of the officers, Angelo, Kuro, XX Omen, Godao. Um, I'll listen. Basically, I want Assault Team is founded upon a bunch of friends, and at the very least, I want everyone to be able to have fun. And if you're not happy with Assault Team, then that's fair too. Like, we raid 6 hours a week. I wish that we could raid more, but literally, that's all that we can really manage as a group together, especially a Hawaii group and some people living in the mainland, some people not. The weekend's literally the only time that we can all come together. As a 6 hour raid group, I think that our progress is extremely successful. Being 2 out of 8 mythic at this point in the game, especially compared to other people. Whenever I see recruitment messages, a lot of them who raid 6 hours to 9 hours, or even not so much 12 hour ones. Um, the 6 hour ones, they're roughly around 6 out of 8, 7 out of 8. But they also put like 1 out of 8 mythic, which is kind of like, huh, how'd you get 1 out of 8 mythic if you're only 7 out of 8 heroic? Obviously, there's some discrepancy there, but you know what? That's not us. So the mythic rating mindset. Basically, it's a very iterative process. You should pre-plan where you're gonna be at all times. Um, you obviously know how me, Brewken, or Top Bard is gonna move the boss. You should know exactly where to stand, where people aren't standing, and how to adjust your playstyle in order to optimize your damage and your survivability. There were a lot of times in the raid where people didn't necessarily know where to move. Like, it's literally, we've spent 36 wipes on that boss. I know for a fact players like Angelo, Kuro, Godao, they'll pre-plan where to stand in order to minimize the chances of getting hit with I-beams, or in order to make sure that there's no one near them, especially movement on Surging Darkness. A lot of times for Mythic rating, it's not so much about doing damage to the boss, it's more about surviving the fight. Surviving the fight is optimally the most hardest part about Mythic rating. Um, yeah, I mean, if it helps, a couple of tips that I can give you is maybe watch videos, watch VODs of kill VODs, especially point of views. Um, as a raid leader, I try my hardest every single week to come up with a strategy that's viable and to make sure that everyone has a clear understanding of what needs to happen and which issues that we'll have and how to overcome those issues. For example, the Roiling Deceit plus Surging Darkness combo in the beginning. I assigned 2 healers to it because I knew that that was going to be an issue. But the other stuff, such as I-beams, dodging Surging Darkness, dropping Roiling Deceits in specific locations, that falls under the raider, under the raider, under the radar, under the raider. There's a lot of personal responsibility in Uldir, and as such, mythic rating, it's super hard. You basically just need to know how to react to everything, because there's no carries in mythic rating. There's a lot of personal responsibility. So yeah, just come ready to kill the boss. I will be releasing a roster later on today. If you are on the bench for whatever reason, please don't take it personal. I believe that every single one of you deserves to be there. If I could take you all into Mythic Raids, I would, but I obviously can't. Um, if Yeah, I think I touched on it earlier, but yeah, everything that I said pretty much straightforward. Yeah, this has been Brewken's Raid Leader's Thoughts. I haven't really thought of what I'm going to call this segment, but catch you on the next one. Peace.